Okay, so I don't know if anyone is going to be interested in watching this or learning, but I'm just gonna go ahead and share. So I just got out of my first ever meeting with a financial advisor. I've never done this before, um, because at my age, I need to figure out how am I doing with my plan. So up until now, I have managed my plan by myself. So now I have to figure out, am I on the right track? Have I made the right decisions with my 401k, with the small extra addition that I've been paying into my 401k, the level of risk that I've been taking in my 401k? Um, what if I was to, retire early, say at 60? Or what if I was going to go till 62 or 65? Maybe I don't touch it until I'm 67. So he, took my information down. He had a nice, lengthy conversation with me. It was a good 30 minutes. It didn't cost me anything, because they are fiduciary, meaning they would work for me. So they charge a certain percent, I guess, of my portfolio of what my stuff is worth. So he said it was 1.5% billed quarterly. So I have to work out what the math is. Maybe I'll post a little something about what that math might work out to, but you can calculate it yourself. But for me, I've never ever done this before, and I'm the first person in my family to ever get this far, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, my mother passed away before she could collect Social Security, paid into it her whole life, and had 1 year to go, and unfortunately passed away. So and my grandparents, my grandmother never worked, and my grandfather had his own business. So he only relied on Social Security. He actually had to keep working until he was 70 because he didn't have enough saved up for their expenses to live. So I've come the farthest, which is wonderful. But with that comes all this risk and responsibility and scariness of, am I really ready? And, part of this whole journey, this downshift into retirement, as I keep saying, is figuring out, okay, if they tell me the numbers are okay, and he's going to project till I live to 100, because that's what I want. We live long, hopefully, the women and family. He's going to project things like traveling for the next 10 years, at least once a year. He's going to project moving to another state that doesn't have the taxes on Social Security and retirement. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And he's a very nice gentleman. My advice then is don't be afraid to make an appointment like this. I was very afraid. It took me probably a year before I actually called somebody, and it was a radio show, a program on the radio that I listen to all the time, and I listen to their financial advice. So don't be afraid to make that appointment. It doesn't, most cases, doesn't cost you anything. It's a free consultation, and they sent me home with some paperwork. I'm going to fill everything out, give them copies of my statements and stuff, and then they're going to run a projection for me, and I decide from there if I want them to kind of take over the management of my portfolio and do the work for me so that I don't have to keep doing the work myself. Yeah, so it didn't hurt, didn't cost anything to sit down and talk to somebody. Made me feel a little bit better about the decisions that I've been making. Did slap me though on the savings. I have to put more in savings. That's obvious. Gave me some tips about where to go. He said NerdWallet was a good place to go to get high yield savings account. I have to have 6 months of my expenses, which is good because I just finished from January till now. I just finished collecting all of my receipts for everything I bought, and this past weekend I categorized everything and figured out what my actual monthly expenses were for everything, which is great. So I need to save 6 months worth of that and keep it in a high yield savings account. He did suggest that I could do an online savings account, and NerdWallet will give me the banks that have the best interest rates right now. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That was the biggest thing. So it was great. I encourage you, if you're in these middle years, in these years between, your mid 50s to probably 62, right before you could collect that first round for retirement from Social Security, that you make an appointment with a financial advisor and just see what they have to say. Just have a consultation. Again, I believe most of the time it's free. Now, my union does have a couple of events around Medicare and a health plan buyout with our company. So I'm going to that. And then they also have one on Social Security. I'm going to that. And then at my public library, they have a retirement and what to do with the IRS with your income tax. So you got to be careful about the taxes you'll pay after you retire, because you unfortunately still have to pay taxes. Yes, you do. And so I'm also going to that. So I think armed with those things, I have a lot of good information on what to do, the decisions I have to make within the next year to 3 or 4 years. It's like unbelievable to be saying those numbers when it seems like just yesterday I was saying, 15 years. So, all right. Thank you. Anybody who wanted to listen, thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, just let me know.